Carr, receiver falls down. There are no flags. After the last touchdown that the Raiders scored.
This is interesting to see. Your daily sports podcast, news, narratives, takes, gambling, Monday Night Football. The Raiders literally trip all over themselves trying to come back and win. Down by 1 against the Kansas City Chiefs in a Monday Night Football game that saw everything. And thank the Lord. The Sunday nights have been boring. Thursday nights and Monday nights are where it's at now. Sunday Night Football has become a mess. Tirico is boring. All the OGs are gone. They replaced the black dudes in the studio with white dudes, and that is clearly racist. Because everything was working, and they're like, let's just do more stuff. And then now Sunday Night Football sucks. Monday Night Football is awesome. The Chiefs are okay. The Raiders are okay. They should have won. And we'll get to the game in a minute. But the real thing that happened that everyone needs to talk about is this Davante Adams situation. Davante Adams had himself a reasonably good game, drew a lot of PIs, he juggled the catch on the end there, forcing them to go for it on fourth down. On the fourth down play, it was a clear out. It's one of those Madden plays where one guy runs deep and the other guy runs like deep and then to the sideline, and that to the sideline traffic jam is supposed to create separation for the guy running deep. So when you see that play in Madden, you throw it deep, usually. But for whatever reason, one of the receivers was jammed, and it screwed up the timing, and they ran into each other. Davante Adams was one of the guys for the Raiders, along with Hunter Renfrow, that went to the ground, and then Tay, as he's called, Davante Adams, he shoved one of the guys that does the boom mics. He just shoved this dude to the ground. And so let's take a look here.
Frustration from Adams, and whoa.
That right there, well, I don't need Scott Van Pelt doing that, but just shoves this boom guy down, just shoves him to the ground. And then, so he apologizes. I haven't heard the apology. Let's take a listen. He's got to be suspended for this, right? I mean, can't do that, dude.
I don't know. It was I had a little collision with Hunter on the left side. I didn't see anything after I released and got back vertical.
So that's about the play.
We ended up running into each other, so that's all I saw. I don't even know where the ball went or nothing. It was on the ground, so I didn't see that. And before I answer anything else, I want to apologize to the guy. Some guy running off the field, and he ran, jumped in front of me.
Ran and jumped in front of me.
We're coming off the field, and I bumped into him and kind of pushed him, and then he ended up on the ground. So I want to say sorry to him for that.
Is that going to be enough? I don't know. He ran and jumped in front of me. Is that what happened? Let's find out. I read it. Kind of. He just crossed his path. He went out of his way to shove him. I mean, if you're ESPN and that's your guy, you're like, dude, suspend this fucking guy for 2 games immediately. Because, like, the NFL is not... So the NFL is more powerful and famous than the sports networks, but the sports networks are how the NFL makes their money. Like, all of it, essentially. So if you're ESPN and that's your guy, you're like, suspend this fucking guy and do it right now. Thank you. He did have this play on 4th and 1. It was early in the game, 0-0, first possession for the Raiders. 4th and 1 from their own, 43-yard line. So this is bananas. This
Raiders do.
4th and 1. It's 4th and 1.
Airs it out down the middle for Adams.
Wide open.
Got it. Inside the 10. Davante, touchdown. What a play on 4th.
He had another touchdown in the game. He had a pretty good game. Shoved that guy to the ground. We'll see where the outrage is. I haven't checked in with guys like Mike Florio and The Ringer and Bill Simmons and stuff because they're usually the ones that are the most mad. Camera is trending in the United States. It has 151,000 tweets in the last 12 hours. Let's see how pissed people are. People are fucking pissed. Wow. Yeah, people are mad. Okay, that's good. That's good. Yeah, people are pissed. Okay, all right. We'll follow up on that. The other story from last night, Travis Kelce, pretty good at football. His stat line was pretty bananas. I think he was the first player in the history of Monday Night Football to have 4 receiving touchdowns. Mahomes had 4 passing touchdowns, and all of them were to Kelce. So from a receiving standpoint, Travis Kelce, 7 catches, 25 yards, 4 touchdowns. The Chiefs, to be honest, did not look that good. They really didn't look that good. There was another ridiculous roughing the passer call. Chris Jones, it appeared like he put all his body weight on David Carr, but while he was doing that, he took the football away. And so when they went to the ground, Chris Jones had the ball in his right hand, right? But it looked like he put all of his body weight on Carr, but then you kind of slow it down, and with the other hand, his left hand that's not holding the ball, it looks like he kind of braces his fall. The ref couldn't see that. They called roughing the passer. It was kind of crazy. These roughing the passer calls are getting kind of out of hand. They're getting kind of ridiculous. But the most important thing, I think, when you think about this stuff is that, yeah, see, like we'll bring it up right here. Here's the Barstool Sports blog about it. See how his hand right here is bracing the fall? He's got the ball. He took the ball from Carr. The problem is that this rule was enacted because Everson Griffin or Anthony Barr or somebody landed with all of their body weight on Aaron Rodgers, and it broke his collarbone, and it made the Packers boring, and it fucked up a bunch of primetime games. I think a lot of athletes and fans and coaches and media members forget that this is not a sport. It is a television show. And if Derek Carr and Patrick Mahomes and Justin Herbert and Matthew Stafford are injured for the year, their show sucks. The problem, though, is that the NFL doesn't understand. We're still probably going to watch it. Just get those guys out of there. Quarterbacks they're just more important. Can't have Chris Jones hurting Derek Carr. Or maybe you can. I don't know. But you got to make a decision. Because people are getting really confused. Eventually, it'll be just like no sacking. If you get to them, they go down. But the problem is you got guys like Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes and Jalen Hurts who will like make it last to the last second. And that incentivizes the defense to like fuck them up. Because they're going to run. So we got to figure it out. I imagine that QB scrambling needs to be reined in, or maybe they're just not going to allow sacking. Like if you get to him, it's a sack. It's like flag football. Which you can't have the fucking quarterbacks hurt, man. Nobody wants to watch Nate Sudfeld. They can't get hurt. I can't reiterate that enough. The reason that some teams suck is like the problem why there isn't 45 teams and why they haven't expanded to London and Mexico already. Like there's not enough goddamn quarterbacks. There's only like 20, 25 of them. And that only worked because some guys didn't retire for a long time. You got another group that could retire. They could all retire the same year. You got Brady, Stafford, Rodgers, Matt Ryan. They could all be gone. Russell Wilson's got a baseball injury. In a period of 2 or 3 years, 5 of them could be gone. And those guys don't grow on trees. Can't fuck up the quarterbacks. Can't fuck up the quarterbacks. They are more important than all of the other players combined. They just are. The quarterbacks are the main characters. So I don't think anything will come of this. I think people are going to complain. The refs are going to be like, yes, do not fucking tackle the quarterback. Ever. I don't know. People are not getting it through their heads. Quarterbacks can't get hurt. It's a TV show, not a sport. Ron Rivera of the Washington Commanders just shit on Carson Wentz. Just shit on him and blamed the Commanders' loss on him. And then Alex Smith he went to bat for Carson Wentz. And Alex Smith, of course, played for Ron Rivera for 1 year in Washington before retiring. He kind of pointed out how the defensive head coach, defense sucks, but he's blaming the quarterback. The blame has got to be spread around, Smith said. This is a team sport. It is the ultimate team sport. How can a head coach stand up there in front of the media and utter one word about its quarterback? He is what he is. He's exactly what he has always been. Carson Wentz is what he is, but Ron Rivera, Montez Sweat and Deron Payne, you guys suck. Kind of with Alex Smith here. That's pretty ridiculous situation. Also happening over the weekend, which I thought was dope. Brian Robinson, the man who was a rookie for the Washington Commanders, who got shot in the leg randomly in an attempted carjacking or robbery or something, twice, got shot in the ass, I think. So it was fine. Suffered some damage, but not enough to keep him out. Like, he's lucky to be alive, frankly. If it hits an artery, dude could easily be dead. Well, he's back in the NFL. He missed only 4 games. Game 5, he was back in Washington. He came out to Many Men by 50 Cent. For those of you that don't know 50 Cent, back in the day when he was kind of a thug before he became a famous musician, he got shot a bunch. I don't know if he was actually a thug. A thug is like a street term for entrepreneur. For those of you that don't know, it's not just like a term for someone that you disagree with who's kind of loud. That's like the racist part of the word thug. Thug is like an actual term. But before 50 was like Eminem's friend and all that, this famous rapper, the guy that looked really fat doing sit-ups during the Super Bowl halftime show, got shot. So everybody who understands pop culture dating back to 1999 will know that this is the reference, and it is dope. What a great shot from the Commanders. They're trying so hard to be a good organization with just like a creepy sexual predator owning the team.
Steph upon me. Blood in my eye, dog, and I can't see. I'm trying to be what I'm destined to be. And niggas.
Well, he's out of Alabama, obviously. What a guy. What a cool moment. Love to see that for him. Thanks for coming back. Got a cringy moment, and this cringy moment's going to lead us into our MLB playoff preview. The Mets were eliminated over the weekend. Best 2 out of 3. All 3 games were in New York. In the top of the 8th inning, 2 men on, down by 4, with 1 hit. They have gotten 1 hit in the entire game. And remember, we've been talking about it all summer. Timmy Trumpets for Edwin Diaz. They're down by 4, and they played the song. And this is bad. This just came crashing down. And they're like, yeah, save us. Like, he's not batting. Is he hit a grand slam? Ooh. Yikes. Let's do some baseball. The Fall Classic starts today at 1:08 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in Atlanta, Georgia. The Philadelphia Phillies playing their division rival, the Atlanta Braves. The Phillies are 1.5-point underdogs. All 4 series, the division series, will happen today. Mariners and Astros, that happens at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then after work, right after happy hour at 7:30, Cleveland and New York. That will be the best game. I don't know if it'll be the best game of the day, but it'll be the sickest scene. There are going to be ape shit in New York. They finally feel like they got a squad that can win, and that is a baseball town. And then also would be cool, but I'm not going to stay up to watch it at 9:37, is the San Diego Padres playing the LA Dodgers. Southern California is, in my opinion, the mecca of baseball in the world. Dominican Republic and the Caribbean got something to say about that. But I mean, Southern California, Mexico, the West Coast of Central America, that's like Mariano Rivera, all the way up north to guys like Bryce Harper's from that neck of the woods, kind of like the southwestern United States, in my opinion, is where baseball's played. And they got some ballers, like some of the biggest spenders, got all the guys in the trades. The Padres and the Dodgers are going to be sick. So that one will be a fun series. Got some great series. So the series are Phillies, Braves, Mariners, Astros, Guardians, that's Cleveland, Yankees, Padres, Dodgers, the team that everyone will be rooting for, and I mean everyone. And if you don't have a dog in this fight, even if you do, the team of the year is the Seattle Mariners. It's been over 20 years since they made the playoffs, and they just blasted the Blue Jays in the first game, and then they came from behind down 7 in the second game. And I'll be honest, it's great. I'm going for them. They've got a generational talent, Julio Rodriguez, their leadoff batter. They play tough baseball. They've got good alumni. They have some of the greatest pitchers of all time have played for them. So it's good vibes in Seattle. Would love to see them go to the World Series. I don't think that they can win it, and I don't think that they're going to go, but you never know. Here are the odds for who is remaining, who's going to win. The Phillies are plus 1,100. I mean, bet on them. Phillies are plus 1,100. Bet on them. The longest shot are the Cleveland Guardians, who kind of scrapped their way in a garbage division in the AL Central. That's Detroit, Kansas City, Cleveland, Chicago White Sox, and who the hell am I forgetting? Damn it. Tigers, White Sox, Royals, Guardians. There's someone else that sucks. Oh, the Twins. Duh. So the Guardians are the longest shot, followed by the Mariners. That's plus 1,600, plus 1,300. And the Padres and the Phillies are both plus 1,100. Yankees are more than double the favorite of the Padres. They're plus 490. It's basically the same thing for the Braves. The Astros are plus 350. They're very good. Justin Verlander, unfucking real, his renaissance in Houston. And the Dodgers are very clearly the best team in baseball on paper. I would bet on the Phillies. They have pitching, they have hitting. It's just like baseball's a weird sport like that. Everybody's mad about their bullpen. It's just baseball, that kind of thing can happen. Oftentimes, the obvious thing happens. I mean, the team that should win is the Astros and the Dodgers, obviously. But Phillies, I'd bet on the Phillies. That's just my take. Baseball starts today at 1 p.m. It is the greatest thing to have on during the workday. It's basically just like a podcast, but there's also a sport happening. Make sure you tune in when the Mariners host their first playoff game. I guess I can tell you exactly. There's no reason why I can't tell you exactly. Here, I'll show you my Google machine. Seattle Mariners. The Mariners will play their first home game Saturday, October 15th, at time to be determined. I would imagine it'll be, my guess is that it's going to be like 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, because they're going to want to watch that crowd as the sun sets, Puget Sound. which will be 6 p.m. local time. Yeah, that's going to be my guess. 10 out of 10, man. I'm excited to watch that crowd. Baseball is such a regional sport. You're so proud of your ball team when they're good. And Seattle hasn't had success at this sport in a long time. They're really good at football, but they're really bad at basically everything else. I'll be back and better than ever. We might have some controversial Wednesday stuff. Check in on the chess world. Maybe check in on some other cheating poker scandal. Some news about how, whatever her name is, Robbie Jade Liu, I think is her name. We'll check in on that as well. You can find it on YouTube, Spotify. You can watch it on Spotify, etc. See you tomorrow.